What's going on, 49er Fake, 49er fan, 49er gang? It's your boy 49er Dion here, back with another video and my old ass washer. Definitely, if this is the first time you see me here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right into it. I know I've been a little AWOL for the week, and we were supposed to have, a couple of post game and some other reactions, but life happens and duty calls, man. So I'm sorry for my absence, but I promise y'all for the rest of the season, I will definitely be here to make sure that I bring y'all the best of the best. So just lost to the Bills, man. All right, man. We gonna get into that, man. We gonna get into it. All right. I did not believe that was gonna be an issue. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I was wrong, brother. I was wrong. I was wrong. I am a man who can admit when he's wrong. I was wrong. Cole Beasley was a goddamn problem. You're right, man. But with that being said, man, this loss to the Bills was a hard one. I didn't necessarily care for us losing to the Bills. I thought we were going to at least be able to win. I honestly didn't see Cole Beasley being the person and the problem that he was. But because of that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and basically go over some things really quick here. So give me just a moment. Cowboys fans, it is what it is. All right. Let's do this. Yes. Yep. So basically, one second. I don't like that. That's not going to work. Remove that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop this here and here. What is going on with my stream? There we go. I don't know what happened. But basically, at the end of the day, we did lose this game. It was unfortunate, 34-24. Basically, wound up having to deal with Josh Allen. It was definitely a hard situation for us. He actually had a lot of time back there in the pocket, man. We were trying to create as much pressure as we could. We also need to inform me why we should draft a QB in the first round. We need an alignment to replace McGlinchey or a corner replacement. I don't feel like we should draft a QB in the first round. I'll get to that, Matt. I definitely will. We are live, Cinnamon Kiss. We are live. How you doing this evening? But as far as I can see, man, this game we basically lost on two things: the ineptitude of the offense and the defense just doing what they can and trying to hold up as best they can. Offense should have scored on a lot more drives than we did, and we definitely had chances to be able to stay in that game and win that game. But just certain things happen, man, and they go away. And it was the playmakers that made things happen. So on the flip side of the ball, you have Josh Allen. He comes in 32 out of 40, 375 yards, 4 TDs. He only got sacked once, but 4 TDs, man, that means that man had an easy night. Roy, boy, what's going on, man? Yeah, we did. Oh, you working with that Bills fan probably giving you all kinds of hell. You know what? I'll say this about the Buffalo Bills. You don't want them to go to an AFC championship. Because if that Bills fan gives you any crap, Roy boy, you know what you can tell them? 4 years in a row you win. And 4 years you lost. That's horrible. They're the only team in National Football League history to go to the Super Bowl 4 straight years and lose every single time. Jim Kelly is a great person known for his, uh, his battle with cancer, everything, all that stuff, man. But the sad part, that man went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Like, there's not another quarterback that can say they've done that. And that's a real big blemish on your record. Like, guys like Jim Kelly and Dan Marino were great quarterbacks, man, but they'll always have that blemish that they couldn't win the big one. Marino went, and we whooped his ass. It happens. But with that being said, man, once again, the one thing we did hold in check was the run game. Nobody averaged more than 3 yards a carry. Devin Singletary, 3.4 yards a carry, 61 yards. Josh Allen barely ran, but that's because he had so much time in the pocket. Zach Moss only had 3 carries for 9 yards. And the guy who I didn't think was going to be a problem was a monstrous disaster. Cole freaking Beasley, man. This really drove me insane. Cole Beasley killed us just by himself. Cole Beasley had 9 catches for 130 yards. The man averaged 14.4 yards per carry. He had 1 TD. And that's 9 catches on 11 targets. So that means the only 2 times that ball didn't get completed to him. Stephon Diggs caught everything thrown at him. He averaged 9.2 yards per carry. Gabriel Davis, 3 catches, 68 yards in TD. Isaiah McKenzie, 2 catches, 31 yards in the TD. Dawson Knox. Like, I don't even know who these players are that made this impact, that put us in that situation, man. It was definitely frustrating, Oh, yeah, I'm PO that we lost both those Super Bowls that we did because we should have won them. There's no reason. We had an unblemished record. We were 5-0. If we went to the big dance, we was gonna win it. But these things happen, man, and that's the worst. But it was definitely really hard to watch that game, man, and look at the miscues and see the things happening. I liked that they finally took a shot downfield with Brandon Ayuk. I love that we did what we could. Nick is doing everything that he can, but I go back to the same point that I constantly make. We don't need to have losers on the field. Why is Tom Compton playing right guard when he's healthy? And you know what happened to Tom Compton again, guys? He's another concussion. And you know where Tom Compton is again? On the bench. So you explain to me, Kyle, in some way, shape, or form, why do you have a worthless loser on the field? If you are looking to play a rookie at right guard and just see what you have, just leave Colton Kivitz in there and let the man start to build some cohesiveness with the line at a bare minimum. Because when the offseason comes, I'm going to tear half these players a brand new one. Quick note, yes, we all heard that Sherm said he might not be back. That was a foregone conclusion because Sherm's going to command a large amount of money and we're not going to be able to pay him. We have a smaller salary cap. So he's going to go where the money goes. Respect to him. Love what he's done for us. Appreciate him for being here. But he's going to cost too much damn money. And it's understandable. Like, I get it. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Sherm is wrong or there's anything wrong with what he's doing. Let that man be. Let him go get his bread. In the NFL, you usually don't last very long. So while you're here and you can make your money, make every penny that you can. So when you flip over to the other side of the ball for us on offense, you have Nick Mullins. 26 out of 39, 316 yards, 8.1 yards throw, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. He didn't take a sack, which is good. Jeff Wilson Jr., 7 carries, 47 yards, 6.7 yards per carry. Raheem, 9 carries, 42 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. Juice, just a couple small carries. Tevin Coleman, that man had minus 11 yards, which tells me he don't need to be on the field. Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 95 yards in the TD. Debo, 6 catches, 73 yards, 12.2 yards per catch. KB, 4 for 35. Charlie Warner, 2 for 33. Jordan Reed, 3 for 32. Russ Dwelly, 2 for 9. So you have all these situations. Sorry, y'all. I got a really old washer, man. I live in an apartment and the washer's trash. Sorry about that. But basically, when you see it, man, I mean, we didn't really get a lot of completions the way we wanted them. Reed had his touchdown. Juice had his touchdown. But there were just too many times where we did not, take advantage of things. We didn't capitalize on the things that we needed, once again, since there were no sacks on, the Buffalo side of the ball, the way they got us was in passive defense. Micah Hyde, pass defense. Tre'Davious White, A.J. Klein, a couple of TFLs. Teron Johnson with a TFL. Daryl Johnson with a TFL. Ed Oliver, with half a tackle for a loss. And then there it was the interception. Now this interception that happened, honestly, one of them was a situation where that bounced off Brandon Ayuk's knee, man. He's got to catch that ball. So I understand sometimes a quarterback can put the ball in a very precarious spot. So it's like, damn, I don't know if I can catch this or I'm going to try to. But the thing about it is you got to catch that ball because it bounces right off your knee, goes right in the hands of, of the Buffalo defense. And here we are. Tre'Davious White had that INT, and so did Micah Hyde. The one for Micah Hyde, I believe that was the one that bounced off Ayuk's leg, and Tre'Davious White, his basically wound up, in the wrong hands, man. That was just a bad throw by Nick. Man, no, bro, it'd be bad. But it's extremely frustrating, man, when you look at things because, we're trying our best to do what we can on defense, but we're just not creating enough pressure. You had 1 sack, and that was Deion Jordan. Other than that, Jason Verrett led the team in tackles. Dante Johnson came in second. Jimmy Ward. Then we have Fred Warner, Moore. Everybody was doing what they could. Verrett had a pass defense. So did Dante Johnson. Of course, Kevin Givens had one as well. Deion Jordan with 2 TFLs. Givens with a TFL. Hyder with a TFL. Tarvarius Moore had one. So you see all of these things that we did, but nothing came out of it, man. We did not capitalize and take advantage of the things that, we were supposed to. And we should have been a lot smarter about that as far as the way things work out. Because the one thing that I can tell you is our defense basically fought as hard as they could, but the thing is the touchdowns that we gave up that were trash, honestly, I'm just being 100 here, were those 2 wide open touchdowns. That's basically what happened. We had a running back sneak out the back, and just randomly he was wide open. Nobody saw him. Nobody did anything. Sherm basically lets the dude walk right past him and allows that TD. There's no safety help over the top. So you take those 2 touchdowns away, that's 14 points less. And where does that leave them? We win 24-20. So it's those small things, just having the smarts to know exactly what's going to happen and what's going on, when you're in the game. And you can't allow dudes to be wide open. I understand, Robert Saleh is this real big dude, It's all good, Roy boy. I know you hustle. You got to do your job. It's really hard for everybody because Saleh drives at home. If you stay in your spot, the scheme works if you just do your job and stay within the scheme. blah, blah, blah. Bro, sometimes you got to break off the scheme when you see shit happening. Like when Sherm saw that dude doing that, you can let a dude get out in the flat because there'll be somebody there to tackle him. But if you see a guy that's going right past you, you know what I'm saying? You need to understand and feel whether you have safety help back there or you don't. And in that instance, he did not. So that was just an easy touchdown. You know, Josh Allen didn't have hard throws to make for his TDs. They were all easy. But those two gimmies, like it's just too much. And we can't continue to allow that. That puts us in a real bad spot. We got to be smarter about that. We have to make better decisions. And we can't put ourselves in a hole, man. You know, the game started off well. We go down, we get the TD, and the next thing you know, we just start to fail. You know what I'm saying? So those are just the things that we have to continue to work on as a team. And at all times, we must stay diligent to be able to make sure that we do whatever we can to continue to win games. Right now, the playoff picture does not look bright for us. If we could have won, it would have looked better. It would have kept us in the hunt. But we are on the outside looking in. I'm going to tell you right now, we literally have to win every game for the rest of the season. If we lose another game, you can forget about it. You know, um, let's see. Yeah, the Seahawks are always going to be in it, man. They going as long as Russell Wilson is quarterback in that team, they're going to have a chance. Their defense can be as trash as it wants, but that's how it works. Man, I had to sneeze. But at the end of the day, um, the biggest takeaway was those gimme touchdowns, those easy joints. We cannot allow people to sneak past us and stand wide open for the quarterback to be able to throw a touchdown. It's just too easy. We're not getting that on defense. On offense from other defenses, we don't need to do that on defense for other offenses. We got to be smarter than that. We got to be a lot better. That's why I said if you take those two away, you can forget it was good. We win that game 24-20, handle. You know, um, but it's an issue for us as a defense, and we do need our edge rushers, man. We need our edge rushers so bad. We need to create pressure. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the offseason, they better find some edge rushers. They better find some real dudes that can get after the quarterback, that can make things happen. And I know that they said that Salah might get himself a head coaching job with what he's done with the defense and everything like that. And credit to him. He is Lebanese. His parents are from Lebanon, so it would be nice for another candidate. I don't use the word minority, but another candidate basically is not white to be able to get himself an option and to be able to feel good about that. But outside of that, man, we lost this game. We should have won this game. We shouldn't have given up those two easy ass touchdowns, and we probably been in the perfect spot to be able to get this done. We're all frustrated about it. I understand, but it's definitely going to be a hard situation going forward. Like that, we literally have to win out if we want any shot at the playoffs. We cannot afford to lose another game. Period. We must. We're still on the outside looking in. We got a couple teams in front of us, but we got to see. We got to see what we can do. But as far as what did you say? Matt, you in here going off tonight. He said Jerry is gonna offer Dak 35 million. Now Jerry ain't offering Dak no bread, man. I think Dak walks, honestly. I think he walks just based off the fact that he's coming off the injury. He is a little bit ahead of schedule right now from what I've heard. And to be honest with you, I think the bridge is burnt between Jerry and Dak. Jerry was so quick to pay Tony Romo's worthless loser ass. He gave him money the minute he could. But the minute Dak asked for one less year on his contract, he couldn't do it. Because You got to think about it, as a football player, just like I said earlier with Uncle Sherman, him not being, you got to get your money while you can. So sometimes I know I used to think sometimes back in the day, like, man, these people are money hungry. They just want all the bread. And I had to think about it. The average NFL career only lasts about 3 years. And in 3 years, 9 times out of 10, you are still on a rookie contract. If you're a first rounder, you have 4 years, and they have an option to pick up a fifth year. So those first 4 years, you're only earning so much money. You're not going to be earning top dollar. Those first 4 years, you are really earning every bit of your paycheck, and you're pushing yourself toward more money with your play. So you have to force, your hand whenever you can after you've played really great to say, hey man, look, I balled out. It's been 3 years. I need some bread. I need to hook me up. So I get it. I understand Sherm. I understand the guys that go out there and get their cake and get their paper. Although the crybaby shit I ain't with. I don't like what Darrell Reeves did. He cried like a little girl when Nami Asamoah made more money than him. So he went, made a big stink about it and got a contract and barely got more than he did, but just wanted to say he was the highest paid defensive back in the league. When Darrell Reeves at his height, he was all right. He wasn't spectacular. I didn't see anything about him. He made him great. As far as me, I like a ball hawk. I want a dude who's going to intercept the ball, who's going to go after it. And the reason I like a ball hawk is because ball hawks do one of two things. They either get the ball from the offensive score, or they get, they go ahead and they get the ball back to the offense so we can go out there and score. That's why I like a ball hawk. What you say, Sherm got a family? Yeah, he do. He do. He got a family. His family's back in Seattle. They do need that bread. Everybody's family gonna need that cake. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and get that kind of money. But with that being said, man, we move on to a team that's like red hot right now, the Washington football team. Now, with the Washington football team, man, they are they making some things happen. I'm telling you right now, man. I slept on them all year, man. They 5-7, we 5-7. You know, they're in the hunt for their division title, and they're still in that race. You know what I mean? They're making things happen a little bit, as far as they're concerned. Um, the Washington football team right now, it looks like from their schedule. I'm just waiting for it to load up. So from their schedule, it's crazy. They have a lot going on right now. This thing, refresh for me. There we go. So Washington football team. This is exactly how their season has gone. Just from the beginning, they start off with dub versus the Eagles. Then it's loss versus Cardinals, loss versus Brown, loss versus the Raiders, loss versus the Rams, loss versus Giants. They randomly beat the Cowboys, and they didn't just beat the Cowboys; they beat the shit out of the Cowboys. It's 25-3. Then they lose to the Giants. Then they lose to the Lions. Now they're on a 3-game win streak. They beat the Bengals 20-9. They broke the Cowboys off again, 41-16. They beat the Steelers 23-17. And now they come to Arizona to come and play us. And that's going to be a bit of a task because they're 5-7. They're still fighting for their division. That first loss to the Giants kind of hurt them. Actually, both losses to the Giants hurt them because basically the Giants can match them in record. They win in division. They're good. But they're playing very well, man. And Chase Young is out there balling. That young man, that defense is out there looking real nasty, guys. And that's what scares me. John V, what's good, my brother? Yeah, man, I can't wait to get out of Santa Clara either, man. I'm so tired of all of the BS between Jed York and that damn city council. They came out and said Jed tried to buy, the city of Santa Clara and, yada, 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 and blah, 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 and all the politics, basically to be able to, spend all the money to be able to support his interest and I looked into it, man. It's all a bunch of back office BS that they need to stop. Period, point blank. And we can't continue to argue with the city at a bare minimum. Jed, for the time that we're there, man, Jed need to go apologize, kiss his butt, give him a couple bucks, do whatever he needs to do, but he needs to tell them like, look, man, okay, I may have came in with with the wrong idea of things, up front. But at the end of the day, man, we're here for the next couple of years. We need to find a happy medium. We need to do certain things. Some of the stuff is things that, I find a little bit appalling just because, like, on the weekdays, they don't want any, concerts that go past 10 p.m. It's a concert. We could have had U2. We could have had the Rolling Stones. All these people, Ed Sheeran. There's a variety of people that could have played, at Levi Stadium, but because they want to put a curfew on us, talk about, oh, we don't want to wake up the people. It's a stadium. I thought stadiums were built well far enough away to not be able to bother residential areas. And to me, that's BS. It's a stadium, like, you have to. You can't have a time frame, a time limit, or a curfew, even during the week. That's how stadiums make their money, that's another thing that was the issue with Santa Clara. They're mad about money that they didn't get from Jed. So it's a lot of backdoor BS, man. And at a bare minimum, Jed's gonna have to try to fix that because it's gonna be continually annoying when we can't do anything in the stadium, make any extra money off the stadium, and we wind up having to go and find another city to build our stadium in. But if anything, he needs to go ahead and do his due diligence and work on people, ahead of time and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I'd like to do. I want to work with you. I want to be able to make sure that we can do X, Y, and Z in these stadiums. Like, get all of those logistics out of the way ahead of time. Then that way you don't have to worry about crap like this. Because Santa Clara treats us like shit right now. And I hate being there. Matt says Alex Smith is checked down, Poppy. Um, yeah. Beast is a stunt, is a baller, man. Yeah, Chase Young is a straight baller. And the one thing you got to respect about Alex Smith, man, is the man's comeback story. See, when 49er fans were killing Alex Smith when he was playing for us, I never doubted him. The reason I never felt that I had to say something negative about Alex Smith was strictly based on the fact that Alex Smith had 6 different fucking offensive coordinators, people. 6. You mean to tell me that Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Eli Manning, you know what I'm saying? Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, Steve Young. You mean to tell me if you gave them dudes 6 different coordinators in their first 6 years in the league, they would be the greats that they are? I doubt it highly. You can't expect a man to be able to hold up with that. That's messed up. So for me, I respected the dude the whole way through. He stuck it out. He did whatever he could with whatever he could. He had the inconvenient truth of Frank Gore there. We went through a couple of different receivers, but we did what we could, man. We had Vernon Davis there when he was in his prime out there, balling out, doing his thing. But it's definitely a hard situation, and what happened to him with his leg. And I mean, if y'all ain't watched that E60 on it, man, you need to take a look at it, bro. It's definitely, it's a heartbreaking thing. Any normal human being, well, yeah, I always try to look at the stats, man. I always see that. But when it comes to that, man, any normal human being, that would break your spirit. And you just give up. You don't want to play football no more, man. You're just frustrated. It seems like you just can't win for losing. Alex never gave up, man. And he was still under contract, And then at the same time, you are fortunate because, as John V. So eloquently puts most of the time, his defensive guys and his offensive stars come out of Ohio State. But his quarterbacks just don't do so well. So basically right now, man, we got to go in there and hope that Alex Smith don't light us up. I'm going to tell you right now, They got Terry McLaurin. They might as well call that dude McLaren. He is fast. He is super fast. You know, and Alex is looking all right now, man. He may not have the greatest of stats, but he's doing what he can to get them by. The reason that the Skins were losing most of this time was because of their offense was trash. Their defense is really solid. That's one thing that you got to take a look at. Like they're on a 3-game win streak. They are moving right now. When you take a look at them just from a stat standpoint, as far as AD, they're tough out there, man. Alex Smith right now, 138 completion, 68.7 completion percentage, 1,363 yards. He's got 4 TDs and 5 interceptions. Although for him to have played 6 games, he's been sacked 18 times. That's at least an average of 3 sacks per game. That kind of sucks, for him. But I mean, that just tells you that they got a trash ass offensive line and they got to get that fixed. New running back Antonio Gibson, brand new kid, kind of bust onto the scene. I think he lit up. Who was I forgot? He lit up somebody. He just murdered them. But this young man, 141 attempts, 659 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, 4 big runs, 11 touchdowns, and no fumbles. You know what I mean? So we got to slow that dude down. And our rush D has been fantastic, so we got to be ready for him. Like I said, Terry McLaurin, 71 receptions, 977 yards. He averages 13.8 yards a catch, 3 TDs. The next guy, Logan Thomas, the tight end. That's a big boy. 43 catches, 426 yards, 5 TDs. You know what I mean? Their little running back, J.D. McKissick, he's their next leading receiver, 56 catches, 408 yards. You know what I mean? So it starts to – they got Dontrell Inman, 18 catches, 163 yards, 2 TDs. So you start to look at the offensive output, and it's more so Thomas and McLaurin. Those are the guys that we're going to have to slow down. And we got to watch out for this little dude, J.D. McKissick, when they throw him in there on running down. Then you flip over to the other side of the ball. You start to take a look at the defensive side of things. For that defense, you got John Bostic out there, man. A total of 86 tackles. Man has 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, a pass defense, an interception. Next up, you got their safety, Cameron Curl, 62 tackles, 2 sacks. You know what I mean? You move into, the big guys. You got Ronald Darby, 46 tackles. He's got 10 passes defense. So that tells me he's balling. He's making it happen. You know what I'm saying? 12 games, 10 passes defense. That's almost a PD per game. Cole Holcomb, their linebacker. This man has 46 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 6 TFLs, a pass defense, and an interception. You see what I'm saying? So on the defensive side of the ball, man, they got guys out there hustling. And Chase Young, the rookie, 29 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 7.5 TFLs. The man has also got a pass defense. Kendall Fuller, 29 tackles, 7 passes defense, 4 interceptions. And the list continues to go on. So the other guys, you got James Smith-Williams, 2.5 sacks, 2.5 TFLs, 2 sacks. This kid, Matt Ioannidis, these are dudes, saying that just have everything. This kid's got 1 sack, 1.5 sacks. He's got 2.5 TFLs. You got Fabian Moreau, the DB, 2 pass defense, 2 interceptions. So you have guys out there that are making stuff happen. And these are the dudes that you got to be worried about. Chase Young with his 4.5 sacks. Ryan Kerrigan with his 5.5 sacks. Matt Ioannidis kid. You got Jeremy Reeves, the safety, that has a sack. So, they got 36 sacks in total. But most of their stuff is coming from their linebackers, their safeties, and a couple of guys on the D line. So that's where we need to be very, very mindful is watching their defense because their defense is the one that's actually going to kill us. Their defense is extremely strong, and that's where we need to be focused. If we can stop McLaurin and stop Antonio Gibson, the running back, we got to worry about Logan Paul. That's a big boy. That is a whole lot of man, and he is not easy to take down. And he get busy. He can get busy out there if you let him. So, do we have the tools and the things to win? Yes. Is their offensive line trash enough where we can get ourselves 3 sacks? Yes, but we got to create the pressure and we got to do what we need to do. We don't have to worry about Alex Smith running. He's probably going to be a little too hesitant to do so, especially with that leg and him just coming back. Even though he's got that thing wrapped up, it almost looks like a bionic leg. So even though he's taken 18 sacks, the man's got enough from every single one of them. I know the last game, I think he got cleated on his other leg, and he wound up going to the sideline, getting cleaned up, and right back in there. So his toughness is not to be questioned. He's there. He's going to be able to do what he can. And we definitely, will be there. Let's see. What do you think Alex Smith was thinking when we traded him and when he saw us on the schedule? I mean, that was a long time ago, Matt. That was a super long time ago. The only thing Alex Smith has in common with the other quarterback that we traded was Joe Montana. Was both of them went to the Chiefs. That's about it. But that was a long, long time ago. I think what Alex Smith thought, honestly, at that point was he knew he was on his way out because Cap was doing too much. He was shining too hard. And it was just a glaring glow. And he knew they're going to let me go. They're going to put me out of here. And if they do, that's fine. They'll go ahead, they'll pay him, and he can move on. Alex isn't a bitter dude. He's not a negative Cap, man. The only bitter person is Aaron Rodgers because he's still crying like a little bitch because we never drafted him with Alex. But be honest with you, man, like then you got to flip over to us and, take a look at what we're doing and how we're trying to move things and make things happen. It's been a struggle, man. Our literal season, we start off with an L. We get 2 dubs against 2 garbage-ass teams in the Jets and the Giants. We lose to the Eagles, which I definitely didn't anticipate that happening. We get the shit beat out of us by the Dolphins. Nobody saw that coming. We beat the Rams. We blow out the Patriots. We come back, lose a heartbreaker to the Seahawks by 10 points. Get beat up by the Packers while we were at our worst and we were just down by about everything we could be. We lose to the Saints. And then we beat the Rams again, just on the field goal. And then we come in and we get beat by the Bills. So, it's been back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's a loss, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 win, then another loss. So, like I said, at the end of the day, we must try to make sure that we can do anything that we can to be able to be great and to be better than the offense, the opposing team. And it's going to be real hard, man. Nick Mullins, 165 yards, 165 completions, 67.3 completion percentage, 1,958 yards, 9 TDs, 9 interceptions. He's been sacked 13 times. So, I mean, you get sacked 13 times in 8 games. It's almost at least about a sack and a half a game. Raheem, still our leading rusher. 76 carries, 388 yards, 5.1 yards per carry, 2 TDs. McKinnon still has 5 TDs rushing. He's actually leading the squad in touchdowns. Jeff Wilson Jr., 4 touchdowns, average of 4.4 yards per carry. Hasty's out for the season. TC came in, but he looked like hot garbage. Juice has 2 touchdowns rushing. Ayuk has 2 touchdowns rushing. You know what I mean? So it's going to still be the Raheem and Jeff show. Those are going to be the 2 guys that you see running the ball as far as that goes. So the game plan, honestly, is going to be for us to try to run the ball. But the thing is, Kyle's got to get back in his bag and do the things that he's been doing we need to get the stretch zone back. We're setting that edge and we're making guys come to us and we're running that ball to the max. And we got to make sure that whatever we do, Colton McKivitz doesn't get murdered by Chase Young. Because Chase Young is starting to become one of those players. I feel like he's going to develop into an Aaron Donald-like player where they're gonna give him free reign to move wherever he wants to on the line. They're not going to hold him still. They're not going to say, hey, Chase, this is your spot. This is where you stay. This is where you rush from. They're going to go, Chase, go wherever you feel. Line up, see whatever matchup best suits you, make it happen. Play within scheme, but you can play on any spot in the line. That means he can kick the defensive end inside the defensive tackle. Vice versa. He can do whatever he needs to do, but he's going to pick and choose his spots, and that'll make it happen for him. When it comes to us and receiving, our leading receiver now, Brandon Ayuk, 40 catches, 541 yards, 4 TDs. Then you've got KB, 36 catches, 447 yards, 12.4 yards per catch, 1 TD. Debo, 33 catches, 391 yards, TD. Richie, 13, 239, and a TD. Jordan Reed, 22, 200 yards, and 3 TDs. And the list just goes on and on. This is a bunch of different dudes with touchdowns, but the thing is, we have to make sure that these guys get involved. Now, the main focus on us is going to be getting Debo, Ayuk, and Jordan Reed involved, along with Raheem and Jeff. Those are going to be the main guys, and KB, of course. Those are going to be the main guys that you see doing a lot of the work out there. The thing is to execute. Because the biggest issue with us is we get the ball and we either give it right back on a turnover, or we're not executing to be able to take advantage of things. If we get a turnover, we can't give it back. And once we get the ball, we got to score. You either get 3 or you get 7. You got to have one or the other. I mean, it's not going to happen on every drive. That's just unrealistic to expect that. But at the end of the day, you still want to make sure that you can try your best to be able to give them the option to be able to win, because that's what we need, man. If there's one thing that kills me, it's when drive after drive after drive, you just see nothing. You know what I mean? You look at the games and you say to yourself, okay, we're here. We should be able to make it happen. And we need to, capitalize off of our drive and what we have and what's been going on. And if we don't do that, then we're just going to wind up kicking ourselves in the ass every single time that we wind up playing. And that's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Because let's look at our drives from the game against the Buffalo Bills, and that'll tell you exactly the story of exactly what happened and how things worked out. Because we should have basically capitalized more on the drives. We had that long ass drive, got down to the, down right there to the goal line, and what happened? We get stopped, and that's not good enough. We've got to make things happen at all times, for us to be able to make plays and do the things that we need to do for any and every reason, to be able to succeed. So you look at the drive summary and you see exactly what happened. You start to look at it and you say to yourself, okay, we've got the first drive for the Buffalo Bills. What happens? You come out, they get a turnover on downs. Why? Because we stalled them at the line. And then what happens? We drive all the way down the field. We get a turnover on downs because they stalled us. Buffalo Bills get the ball back, and they fumble. What do? We turn that into a TD. We're like, boom, we shot it. Touchdown. Let's get it. Everybody's happy. We're good. That's okay to celebrate that one. But then what happens? Big play, 35-yard pass to Cole Beasley on their next situation. And what happens? A little easy touchdown pass to Beasley again. We get the ball back. Punt. They get the ball. TD. We get the ball back. Punt. They get the ball. Field goal. You know what I'm saying? Third quarter comes, we get the ball, field goal. They get the ball, touchdown. We get the ball, double pick. They get the ball, field goal, points off turnovers for them. Then we get the ball again, touchdown. Nick Mullins to Juice, and they get the ball, another TD. That was that big play up to Davis because Sherm just watched him walk past him. Fourth quarter, we get the ball, interception again. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo gets the ball back, no points off that. They punt. We get the ball back, touchdown to Jordan Reed, but the game is over by then. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. If you look at this, we had, 1 second. I'm going to look at this right here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 9 drives, and we scored 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We had 9 drives. Out of those 9 drives, we scored 4 times. That's horrible. You know, fourth to go in the first, hell yeah, I'd go for it. But my thing is, I'm not gonna go for it the way that Kyle goes for it, because for some weird, ungodly reason, lately what Kyle has been doing is when he goes for it on fourth down, he does it with no juice. Like he has no fullback in there. And you have to know if you don't have the right coverage off those edges, those dudes can come in there and snatch that, and stop that play real quick. Chase Young is a monster off that edge. He is so fast. If you didn't watch the last game, those highlights, bro, he came off and he stuffed. That's how they stuffed for one of their plays. Chase Young came off that edge so fucking quick. He had that dude's legs wrapped up before he could even get really moving. And that's why they didn't have that, man. I'll definitely take a look at him, Matt. But this next game up against the Washington football team, we have the same record as they do. We are both 5-7, and I am not feeling as comfortable as I did at the beginning of the season. When I saw them on the schedule, I was like, oh, that's a dub. I saw the Cowboys, that's a dub. I still think the Cowboys are a dub. That's guaranteed. But as far as the situation when it comes to, the Washington football team right now, man, they're finding themselves at the right time. The only difference is they've got to be able to have a better record than the Giants, because if they wind up tied with the Giants, they're screwed, because the Giants beat them both times. The Giants will wind up the kings of the NFC East, because that division is only producing one playoff contender, and we all know that is going to be just the winner of the division. If the Giants can hold them off and keep the records the same and be able to finish out the season, doesn't matter whether they finish out the season, 7-9 or whatever the case may be, they can still get in because they'll be the division winners, and it is what it is. But for us, we need to be very mindful of that defense, very mindful of Ryan Kerrigan, very mindful of Chase Young, very mindful of their DBs, and we are going to have to take care of the ball. We need to get back to running the ball properly, but the thing is our offensive line is out of sync. It's not the same offensive line, and whoever the offensive line coach is trash. He needs to be fired. I know right now, I don't know what's going on with Grasu, man. They're saying he has a knee injury now. First he was on the COVID list. Now he's got a knee injury. Like, what the fuck? Ben Gardner's been out all this time. Why is he not trying to practice? You know what I mean? And the thing is, if we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't see a reason for Jimmy or George to set foot on the field, period. It's stupid. You're going to take them out there to do what? Re-aggravate these injuries? Let them be. If we ain't going to the playoffs, it ain't no point for us to be on that field having any of our stars out there doing anything, because it's pointless. We're not going to win anything. The playoff scenarios right now, man, we need a lot of teams to start losing a lot of fucking football games, but we have to win out. And it's not looking like that's going to happen. So we must do what we can to be as strong as we possibly can. We must run the football. We got to run first, pass second. And Kyle's got to get back into his bag, and he's got to start using that Swiss Army knife that is Juice and make sure that they're doing good things to be able to make sure that those runs are happening the way that they need to, because we cannot just continue to rely on the pass with this ball hawking defense that we're about to face. And at the same time, we don't have time for Nick to drop back and try to think, 4 or 5 or 6 seconds, because our offensive line is not going to be able to hold up long enough. And I don't know if Chase Young is going to be able to, Chase Young will probably get around a lot of, a lot of these offensive linemen. If he winds up having a hard day against Trent, he'll just go over to the other side and punk Mike McGlinchey. Hell, DB's punk Mike McGlinchey. So you really think Chase Young can't do it? That man has a lot of fucking talent. So it's extremely frustrating. But at the end of the day, this game is going to be predicated off the run. That is how we will win the game, because we can control the clock. And the whole point is, if you see Raheem get skinny and get in them holes, man, he take off. He's still the fastest ball runner throughout the league, 23.09 miles per hour. That man moving. That man is moving. So we just have to make sure that we get the run going. Then we can start to build off it with the play action pass and be able to get Debo, KB, and Ayuk involved, and even Jordan Reed. But those are the keys to the game. That is the way we win, by running the football, controlling the clock, and taking our time to do these things right. If we don't run that ball properly and control that clock, and force this defense into situations where they're so busy thinking about the run, we wind up getting that play action pass off and getting those things going, and we're going to kill ourselves, and we will not win this game. I do see us winning this game. I am going to give us the W. I'm not going to go ahead and bet against it's still the Washington football team. And at the end of the day, on offense, if we stop Gibson and McLaurin, then we're good. The one thing is, Tarvarius Moore must play this game, and wherever Terry McLaurin is, that's where Tarvarius Moore needs to be. He's the only person we have on defense that's going to be able to keep up with his speed. And I pray to God that Jason Barrett is where Terry McLaurin is, because if he goes over there on Sherm, he's going to blow Sherm ass out the box. He can run 9 routes on Sherm all day. He can't keep up with him. Sherm's never been the fastest defensive back. He's been a mentally smart defensive back, and a very, very stubborn and stern and strong zone coverage type of guy. He is not a man-to-man dude, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, the pass got smoked. But let me take a look at some of these comments really quick. Coming up here close to this hour mark. Matt has been going insane in this chat here. Let's see here. Trying to take a look at it. Let's see. Ben and Jerry's gave Cap his own ice cream. Yeah, man, I saw that. That was funny. That was actually hilarious. I saw that they gave him his own ice cream. It was like, it's something weird. Probably, I don't know. I've been on a little bit of a weight loss journey, man, trying to get back in shape. So I ain't thinking about no ice cream. Who eats Ben and Jerry's? I will tell you, Baskin Robbins. Only you, man. Only you. Baskin Robbins got some good stuff. You ain't never had Thrifty ice cream, though, Matt. You haven't lived. You gotta have Thrifty's ice cream, my man. I'm a rainbow sherbet kind of dude. That's my shit. I like it. I like sherbet in general, whether it be rainbow, mango, orange. I don't give a shit. If it's sherbet, I fuck with it. That's my type of ice cream. Let's see here. What else we got? What did you say, Roy Boy or Chase Young or Bosa? Yeah, see, that's a hard thing, man. That's a really hard thing. And then the one thing I would say for that, John B, I'd go with Chase Young, just because he's healthy and he stays healthy. Bosa has an injury past, and as you see, he tore his ACL in high school, tore it again with us. So he had him for 2 games, and that was that. Let's see here. Let me see these comments real quick. But y'all see this shit here, man. This is what he goes, why do I keep losing my job to biracial quarterback? else did he lose it? Oh, you're right. I did not. I just caught that, Matt. I did. Yeah, you're right. He did. He lost his job to Cap, half white, half black. And he lost his job to another half white, half black, and Patrick Mahomes. You're right. So see, now he's good because you just got Dwayne Haskins. He's just black. So doesn't look like he's gonna lose his job to Haskins and or the kid out of Texas either. Um, if I was head coach, would I go? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I read that. NFC East is trash. Um, oh, you don't think Matt? You're killing me, Smalls. You can't tell me that you don't think Chase Young would make the Pro Bowl. The man is a monster. Like that young kid's gonna make. He should make the Pro Bowl. He will make the Pro Bowl. Chase Young definitely at a bare minimum. We're going to shit on teams next year and go 6-0 in the division. Okay, I like that. Um, Yesterday's game, man, my opinion on yesterday's game was the Pats suck. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Cam may have said it wasn't about the money. He ain't about to get paid no money next year with the play that he's put out this year. The tape, the film that he's put out, man, Cam ain't the same Cam. It's not working. You know, Josh McDaniels is a wizard. I'm pretty sure he's probably using some of the stuff that he used with Tim Tebow when he was the head coach in Denver, as far as like playbook and scheme, but it's not working out. It is not working out at all. This is it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? I'll put boy, you crazy, man. Um, Man, shit, if we had, look, John B, if we had Chase Young and we also had Nick Bosa coming off that edge, deadly, deadly tandem. You wouldn't, the quarterbacks would just not know which way it's coming from. And I think, hell, I actually think sometimes it'd be probably a couple of plays where these two fools been ran into each other because they're coming so quick and hard off that edge. But that's it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in once again. Sorry for the little hiatus. Sometimes life happens, things go down. You got to be as smart as you can. You got to take your time. But I will be back for a post game. After the Skins game, I'm gonna see if I can get my man Callie Young to come hop on with me, talk to him and see what's going on. But thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all are able to support the channel and you do want to support the channel, it didn't tell you. Oh, okay. Hey, sometimes it be happening, man. You know what's funny? I've seen a lot less of Rondo. He usually does like at least like 2-3 shows out the week. He's been very, very quiet. I don't know. Appreciate everything. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in to me, listening to me rant and rave about the 49ers. Like I said, if y'all do want to support the channel, go over to patreon.com/Niner Gang Podcast. That's 9 ERGANG podcast. And you can go there and support the channel if you so choose. If not, I just appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all day to listen to me spit my BS out of my mouth about these Niners because I love them to death. And I always love them. Been a lifelong fan, and it will continually be a lifelong fan. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening. Shout out to everybody that was here. Cinnamon Kiss, Roy Boy, John B, Matt, always in there. And y'all have a good night.